I have often dreamed of a far-off place. Hey, y'all, come on in. You're here on a great day.
We're off to climb Mount Olympus today with the help of Hearth and Altar.
It's a beautiful morning with the Barbershop Duet.
Hi, I'm Marcus Klinger with Klinger Vocal Studio.
And I'm Sarah Vincent with Sarah Vincent Virtual Pilates.
And this is Elaine Stritch, but we call her Lainey. And together we are the Barbershop Duet. Hey, y'all, come on in. Thank you for finding our little barbershop. If you happen to be here during one of the live premieres on YouTube, why? Come on in the live chat. Meet the Whiff Pack, cool group of our friends hanging out from all over the world talking about all kinds of stuff. They'd love to meet you too.
They would. And for our mention today, Marcus would like to talk about his Yates razor.
Y'all, as the years have gone by, I find I'm generally a fan of aluminum razors. Something about the lightweight in my hand lets me get to all those angles that I need. But there's one exception in my regular rotation, and that is the Yates winning razor. It is made of stainless steel. It is one of my heaviest razors, and for some reason, it is one of my favorites. Y'all, this gives me such a BBS shave. I don't even have enough to shave with the next day. And it's got that fabulous angle on the head, much like the Henson does, although this was designed first, according to a video by Matt Pisarcik published not long ago, and it gives you that perfect angle, and if you're not at that perfect angle, it doesn't even cut. Y'all, and I adore this thing, and the America Razor by Yates was also re-released by Razor Emporium last week in honor of our country's 250th anniversary. Head over to Razor Emporium to see what they've got going on in the razor department if you are looking for a stainless steel bargain. And what is our soap today?
We have one that's inspired by Zeus. Let's meet it.
All right, y'all, from the sales page at hearthandaltarshop.com. Hi, Olympus Fougère Shave Soap opens with a strike. Bright citrus cutting through the air like lightning across a clear sky. It's sharp, immediate, and attention-grabbing, but only for a moment. Also, instantly, the heart rises to meet it. Green basil and aromatic lavender, structured and authoritative, bringing balance and control to that initial burst of energy. As the experience progresses, the foundation reveals itself. Oak moss, deep and earthy and unmistakably classic. It anchors the fragrance with a sense of permanence.
It doesn't fade so much as settle in, like something ancient and immovable. This is a fougère in its most commanding form. Clean without being light, traditional without being dated, and powerful without ever needing to shout. The kind of scent that feels less like a choice and more like a birthright.
Go the distance. Inspired by the old gods, crafted for the ritual. Y'all, this is our second Hearth and Altar soap. We are so excited. And this one was piffed to us by Mike McFarland. Thank you, buddy. We can't wait to open this box. All right, y'all, this is the box that our liminal tobacco and fig came in, and this is going to be our first experience with a splash. Oh, look at all this fabulous stuff. A 10% off coupon for next time, and a note. We're going to read it again. Marcus and Sarah, thank you for giving our products a seat in the barbershop. We're honored to share the stage with you and can't wait to hear your thoughts. Sarah and Will.
P.S. The Zeus set is a gift from Mike McFarland. The Apollo and Poseidon samples are gifts for you. Go forth and shave like a god.
And y'all, look at this beautiful packaging. Why don't you show them that? And I will grab the splash
Here you
box.
go, my friends. Ooh, there's a big old lightning bolt. Come in their own little boxes here.
No,
Fancy.
how official. Let's see.
I think it slides.
Ooh, let's see what the bottles look like. Oh, very
There you go.
nice. Look at that, folks. And look at the back. It's got the logo on there. Ooh, I don't know about you, but I feel like we're about to get struck by lightning.
Yeah.
Let's have our first impression. All right, yeah, well, constant viewers will know that I have one Achilles heel when it comes to set notes, and it's oak moss. We have grown apart over the last few years, except in things like Old Spice, except in things where it's used just right in the Goldilocks zone. So I'm going to let my beloved here take her first impression and warn me as to what I might be in for. All right, are you ready?
Here's the pour for those who like to see. There's lots of room in there if you want to be able to tub load.
Now, fougère is French for fern, so these tend to be kind of green forest floor kind of scents, but as we have also discovered on the show, they can go in vastly different directions and vastly different places, so take it in.
All right.
Let's see what we got
Zeus here. Let's see.
Right? One of those ozone for the lightning strike, right? right?
I think you're going to be okay on the oak moss front.
Nice.
Oh, it's a fresh, clean scent, though. Like, it's almost kind of throwing a little bit of the green Irish tweed direction. So it's green, but there's something in here that's almost coming off as a little minty, like helping clean it out. I think there was lavender or something in here that's cleaning it up. So I usually can tell right away if it's oak moss forward or if it's in there. It's really well blended. I don't think if we hadn't read it, I would have known right away it's in here. I would have gotten the greens for sure and the cleans for sure. But usually oak moss is kind of like as dark as it gets for me a lot of the time in fougères. This one has a lot of a brighter kind of side. So I think you're at the top of the mountain here, not at the bottom.
Nice. I am a giant fan to green Irish tweed, so anything in that neighborhood is welcome in my barbershop.
But if that helps puts it in a category, like usually fougères are kind of like in your face about it. This one isn't. It's a lot more light and airy, kind of the cleaner side at the top is what I'm getting. I think my nose is really getting the citrus and the basil the most. That brings me in. So it's light, it's clean, it's airy, and then it doesn't really get too much darker from there, but there's something where it starts to veer back down the mountain a little bit. So I think it just kind of mellows out a little bit with the lavender. It doesn't quite go barbershop-y, like sometimes lavender can do that, but it really keeps it like a clean linen-y kind of a vibe in there somehow. Like it's almost leaving the barbershop with the fresh towel kind of thing. Well, something like that. Not talky, but there's just that clean, airy side that stays with you. I really have to say the oak moss is hard to find.
Okay. Maybe it flew a little too close to the sun. That's fine.
I mean, I think it's in here, but the other stuff, it's just really helping the rest have more of the focal point, and it just gives it like a little bumper at the bottom so that there's a base to this scent.
Yeah.
I think anyone you'd walk by wearing this, I mean, we'll see when we get to the splash, but I think they're just going to get an overall cleanliness. Like you did just have a shave or you just stepped out of the shower, like the Marcus Clean scent kind of vibe is where I think this would actually go more than like a stereotypical fougère.
Nice.
It's not as masculine as I thought it was going to be. I really thought we were going to get hit over the head with that fougère kind of side, which to me, I don't really want to use those. I like smelling them on other people, but I don't run towards fougères. This one I actually would definitely use.
Maybe a little Zeus, maybe a little Athena in there, right? My very first semester at St. Mary's College in Moraga, California, they had us in a seminar class, which started with Greek and Roman thought. So we dove into all of these gods and all of this mythology at the very beginning of my college experience. So I have fond memories of all of these characters and adventures.
It's nice to have a second one from Hearth and Alto because you kind of get used to the base a little bit.
Sure.
And if I'm even smelling it at all, it's just adding to the cleanliness of it. Like it really works with this scent, I have to say.
I love that the artisans, Will and Sarah, a married couple, both came up with the idea of Greek gods independently. And then told each other, hey, we should do Greek god-themed soaps.
Clearly meant to be.
Right.
And we don't have anything like that in the shave world. That it's really like each character is brought to life in a soap or a scent. So it's kind of fun to be reminded of all of these gods.
Yeah. There are a few like Hades and Persephone soaps like that, but nobody that does a line of Greek gods.
I like having the scent notes as a guide, but I have to say, the way that they blend over at Hearth and Alto, they're almost hard to pull scent notes apart, which I thoroughly enjoy. It's almost like it creates its own new scent story somehow. So I like these as guidelines, but I think overall, I would just say this is fresh, clean, airy, and it kind of just has that fresh out of the shower or right after a shave kind of vibe, which I thoroughly am enjoying. I want to see what you think, though.
All right, here we go. Diving in.
Hi, Olympus Fougère.
I love the shape of these jars.
They do feel good in your hand.
Tub loader, right? You can really get the bristles in there. All right, here we go. Taking it
See
in.
what you get.
Oh, you're right. I got like flashes of Lord of the Rings walking through forests, but there's very little oak moss among the ferns. This makes me happy. Oh, hold on a second. Okay, you know that very first burst of green freshness you get from green Irish tweed? That is kind of cousins to how this is formulated. Lovely. And yeah, it's not looking down at the forest floor, it's looking up. And there's something in these scent notes that almost makes it a little minty. That's the lane of clean that we're in for this. My brain is showing me dense leaves on trees that the light's having trouble pushing through. And that citrus is unique. I think it's just a light bergamot just to give you that fresh little burst, but it doesn't read tangy or sour or anything else that citrus sometimes can. It's just the freshness of the zest of like a bergamot or a lime or something. Again, subtle.
I think it's because it's next to the basil that somehow it's making my brain think like minty, but it's not. It's just kind of like when you really just crack open a basil leaf. It's super fresh.
And that's the star of this, I would say. That's the spine, is this beautiful green, almost sweet basil. And it's not the basil that we got from Perfumer's Apprentice. That one reads a lot greener, almost smoky. This is like a fresh morning basil.
Yeah.
For sure, a Mount Olympus Barbershop, a contender for the Marcus Clean scent. This is the kind of thing you want to put on when you're going to go for a hike or a nice long walk somewhere in nature.
So I like that they kind of spun the Fougère idea a little more into their line of scent work, because it does help keep it from getting too peppery, too masculine, too dark green oak mossy.
And you can smell the ferns. You just want to lie back in this giant ferny bed and listen to the birds sing. You know that like 60-page section of Lord of the Rings where they meet the tree for the first time, Treebeard? That's what this reminds me of. So it's about where the citruses and the basil are coming together. And then under that is this layer of like lavender diva, a very crisp, very sharp sort of lavender, but turned down in the balance, which is kind of what makes this a Mount Olympus Barbershop for me. It doesn't read as floral. And it doesn't read sweet. Lavender Diva does not always. It's more sharp than sweet. Lovely. And rather than adding a sense of moss, the oak moss is almost bringing in a sense of clover for me. Something on the ground for sure, but it doesn't go to that pokey place that oak moss sometimes does for me at all, which is why I'm finding this particularly delightful.
It just has a dark green kind of thing. Yeah. But I do see why Michael was like, actually, I think this is one of his Fougères that he does like, because that's why he was like, I think, Marcus, this one will be okay.
It's more of a gentle traditional moss than like an oak moss sense.
It's almost like the oak tree is separate of the moss instead of the oak moss combo.
Yeah. Well, and it sometimes goes like creamy danky for me, and that's not what's happening in here. There's nothing really creamy in this. It's more about the green snap of the leaves.
Yeah, less of that peppery oak mossy kind of thing for me.
And it's nice that there's not like a barky, woody sense in this, which is why it allows that green to just be so vibrant and clean and fresh.
Yeah, usually with Fougères, my brain gets like a dark green. This is more of a pale light green for me.
And it's not aquatic, but I think there's a pond somewhere in this forest where you are. There's just a subtle sense of a little bit of a fresh water vibe in this.
Yeah, it's clean, so maybe that's part of what I'm getting to.
And I like the idea that Mount Olympus is lush and green, not cold and rocky, like it kind of was in my imagination reading those myths. And almost kind of a little sandy note coming from the base, a little bit that helps balance it out, believe it or not. And we did a soap yesterday that I think had almost 20 scent notes. I won't mention the artisan, Adopted Acres, Doug Lane. It was beautiful. But what's cool about a soap that only has 4 is you can really follow each pin in the juggling act. A little bit of a simpler balance, but you can really explore what these scent notes do as they combine. Sometimes less is more. And the more I smell it, the more the citrus burst comes out at the beginning like a lightning strike. You getting that? And y'all come along with us as we reach the summit. We're going to take another look at these scent notes and build you a hearth and altar lather. All right, let's take one more walk through this garden. Crisp citrus flashes over commanding basil. Could this be anything but bergamot? Are there any other citruses you're getting in there? Anything orangey, lemony, grapefruity at all?
It might be a little lemony in there, but I'm going to lean more towards bergamot, I think.
Yeah. I'm getting a tiny bit of lemon zest to kind of help balance out the subtle sweetness of bergamot, but I think it's kind of a bergamot thing. And I love how they even here in the scent notes talk about how that's pairing with the basil. Absolutely, where a bright green meets a more forest green. And the week that Disney's California Adventure opened, and it was the first time that the California resort served alcohol in any form other than at Club 33, I asked the waiter, what's the one cocktail that nobody gets that I should really try? They brought me a strawberry basil lemonade that had some vodka or something in it, but the basil was like loosely muddled, so there were lots of little basil leaves floating around inside of this lemonade. If you have never tried such a thing, you really should. It was amazing the way it offset with the fruits. That's the sense of basil that I'm getting in there. Something freshly muddled on a mortar and pestle, right?
It does have a really good wake up and start the day kind of vibe, and I think that's where it starts.
And this is not a Roman god, so no pizza basil in here.
I do have to say, I enjoy how the lavender is in this one.
Yeah.
It really is the best parts of lavender. It's adding that clean, almost barbershop-y kind of vibe, and it helps kind of dampen the green without going too green.
Right, and generally, a sense of clean laundry would be done with musks or hedione or something like this. Here it's being done with lavender. I can smell the towels fresh out of the dryer at the barbershop. I'm sure there's a Medusa barbershop joke in there to be made with snakes and everything. I just don't have the strength.
All right, so the way that they describe oak moss, they say deep, earthy, and unmistakably classic. And I would say that that actually makes sense. It doesn't go dark. It does go deeper, like you get more depth to the greens going on. But like we were saying, it just kind of adds that outdoorsy kind of part. It doesn't pull it completely Fougère land. It just kind of touches the edge.
And there's generally a funk to oak moss. That's the part I don't like. That's the part that's not in here.
It's Marcus safe. There you go.
Y'all, Marcus Oak Moss approved. We should have a little graphic.
We should.
Here you go.
Here's our new graphic.
You know what it brings to mind? There's a section of the original Fantasia where all of the Greek gods are kind of having like a festival, and it's bright colors and deep, lush greens and stuff like that. That's where this takes me.
There you
kind
go.
of a party scent.
So we were really thoroughly surprised by the lather last time.
Right.
So it's kind of nice to have our second one to make sure that this is as legit as we remember.
Well, here we go. Well, look at that. A perfect Fougère color on my Foxy brush from AKA Brushworks from Amelia and Gardner. Thanks, y'all. This is one of my softest knots. I'm really bad about knowing the names of the different knots. I know a few of our Whiff Pack members are rather expert at such things.
Is this cashmere, maybe?
Something
I
like
think it's
that.
a cashmere knot.
You can put it in the comments, would you? And my dark Nebula Bowl from the KUN Workshop. This is the larger size, the head shaving version. All right, I'm going to take our bougie stick from Amazon.com and dig into this soap, for which there is a little bite back to the stick. This is not an overly soft soap, but I think those sometimes make the better lathers. And what are our first few ingredients in this base?
We have tallow, stearic acid, water, castor oil, potassium hydroxide, coconut oil, glycerin, sodium hydroxide, shea butter, and fragrance.
I know there is a fabulous little tool out there to help you push the lather into your bowl.
Right.
But while we're reviewing them, I realize I glean a lot of information from the tactile sensation of pushing the soap into the bowl. I can feel the stearic acid, those tiny little bumps. All right, and what we do is we let the soap climb Mount Olympus, and then we make it rain, and the rain is going to roll all the way down to the bottom of Mount Olympus and hang out there in a little pond. Maybe just 2 tablespoons of water total, and then just that ancillary water that I've sprayed on the surface of the soap is going to be plenty to start transferring it up onto the bristles of the brush. Now, we don't want to build a lather yet. This is all about controlling the size of your tiny bubbles, but we're just transferring the soap up onto the brush at this point.
It's nice to have the black knot against the black bowl. You can really see where the soap's going on.
Ooh, this lather is just bursting out already. Hold on, I'm going to need to start grabbing some water here. And then down into the pond, grabbing all that water onto the brush. Here we go. Ooh, look at that beautiful creamy lather already bursting forth.
I have to say I'm getting a little bit more of the oak moss, but not in an overwhelming way. Just the water woke it up a little bit more of that depth of the greens coming through.
Let me see. Oh, yeah, there it is.
Subtle, though.
Yeah, palatable.
There you go.
I will say that, palatable.
Still be able to use this.
Yes. Oh, yes. Well, it's just the canvas that the citrus and the basil are sitting on.
Yep.
And the lavender is also a nice gatekeeper between you and that oak moss. The Odyssey movie is coming out soon.
Oh, I did see that trailer. You're right.
I'm excited about that. The Odyssey was the very first book we were given to read at St. Mary's College, the Robert Fitzgerald translation. Look at this. It looks like I'm in an old Buster Keaton movie and I'm ready to throw a pie. And this is something you will only find here in the Barbershop Duet. This is the Have I Been Gazing at Myself Too Long in the Water Whiff on 3, 1, 2. Ooh, lovely. Yeah, more spread out.
Just a little bit, yeah.
That's nice.
And listing all those scent notes, it really kind of finds what you were talking about earlier, the in-between each scent note portion.
Right. And y'all, while we do love watching Michael McFarlane's Lather Bound channel on YouTube, you should check it out. We don't do shaving here in the Barbershop Duet, but we know you probably want to see what this lather looks like when it coats and covers a moneymaker and a Cavalier King Charles Spaniel. Ooh, I am a giant fan of this Hearth and Altar lather, y'all, I'll tell you that. Thick and protective. This would pair nicely with my Yates razor, because that is an aggressive one. You can really feel the scrape. But interestingly, when I put my alcohol on my face after the shave, even though the shave itself feels scrapey, I get 0 irritation. My 91% isopropyl alcohol feels like spring water. Would you like a little of this on your face? See what that feels like?
Super padded, super slick.
Yeah, a lot of padding.
I do really enjoy that first part of the whiff, I have to say. I think my nose really finds the citrus and the basil for a good chunk of the whiff.
All right, y'all, well, come along with us. I think I hear some sirens over there ready to take this ship down a little bit deeper.
Your life don't
You know who would smell like this? John Muir.
I can see
A naturalist, somebody that spends all of their time out in nature. Beautiful. And all right, y'all, let's experience this splash. Let's see. Do I have my reading glasses? All right, I can't get the plastic off, so I'm just going to unscrew it and
later.
see what happens. Oh, it just grows. Okay, there we go. Ooh.
Yeah?
The citrus is really jumping out in the splash.
We would rather that than crazy oak. Oh, yeah, woke up the dog. Here we go.
Ooh, oh, that's quite different.
That almost aquatic-y portion you were talking about, like that fresh spring water, fresh air.
Totally.
Oh,
that citrus just really comes to life in here and kind of overtakes the basil a little bit, and then your nose descends down into that.
I mean, we're not complaining. We were a little nervous about the oak moss, but we are fans of how this is layering up, y'all.
And for sure, a barbershop lavender in the middle of this. That's lovely.
The oak moss is here, but it's like a bright neon, you know? So it really takes kind of the dankier, darker sides of oak moss that can get pretty bossy and throw those out the window.
And I do sense every corner of what oak moss can be in this, but it's lovely how it is being balanced out and is under the surface of the rest of it. So it is on the Marcus approved oak moss list.
I think usually the hard part for me with oak moss is it can get pokey. The way it stays around almost too long, whatever that portion of oak moss that we're not as much fans of, this one doesn't have that. So I think the longevity in this is safe for us.
And it is really binding with the lavender. And the lavender's helping take the edge off the oak moss. And interestingly, the oak moss is helping take the edge off the lavender.
Yeah, somehow they picked all the magic portions that you needed to make this click in just the right ways.
So it's pretty simple, y'all. Just be Zeus, strolling around on Mount Olympus, having the idea to put together a lovely scent for a shave soap. You're going to grab a little bergamot from there, a little basil from there, a little oak moss from there, a little lavender from there. Hit it all with a lightning bolt of inspiration and get your own. So head over to hearthandaltarshop.com where you'll find this and all kinds of other cool stuff. Well, I've had my shave, y'all, with High Olympus Fougère, and it was a great one. Just about the time during the episode I started referring to this as a barbershop, I think my brain was remembering this scent from a couple of other barbershops in our collection. If you only have a few soaps in your cabinet and you're a barbershop collector and you want to be sure you don't repeat a scent, you might want to check this website from Thirsty Badger, because I am 99% sure that the oil in this is the beautiful Crafter's Choice Barbershop EOFO Blend 123, which is also found in a few other barbershops in the wet shaving world. But they're each going to smell a little bit different based on the ingredients in their bases. And speaking of bases, for a new artisan, what a home run. Thick, beautiful, padded, protected. The glide is incredible, and the post-shave feel is lovely. I could do that pass under my chin across the grain with no weepers. Felt totally safe in the hands of this god. Hey, Hearth and Altar, we will be back soon. Hey, welcome to Messages.
So for our July giveaway, we wanted to give you a chance to get $25 to Katie's Bubble.
That's right, y'all, and all you have to do to be eligible for this giveaway is send us an email right here to WeSentYou at thebarbershopduet.com so that we can get back to you. It's the only way we communicate about our giveaways, and then check back here on our first August episode to see if you are our lucky winner.
Best of luck!
So I wonder if Halloween, they're going to have a soap based on one of the villains in the old Greek myths, because the heroes are fine, but they're generally only as strong as the enemies that they are able to overpower and overtake. Ooh, that could be interesting.
I'm so excited to see what they have coming next, because they've already dropped a bunch of new scents. Like, I feel like we need to start doing some more digging over at Hearth and Altar. So let us know if there's ones that you'd like us to try next. We've only heard good things, but if you want to shine light on one maybe you haven't gotten yet, let us know. And
Michael McFarland, thank you so much, buddy, for piffing us this set. It will be a beloved member of our barbershop collection.
Yes, I'm glad we were not too deterred by the oak moss, because we have learned we could be wrong. Whatever this variation is, we are fans of. Don't forget your next appointment with the Barbershop Duet.
You'll smell more mythological just watching this.